You think attraction is loud. It isn't. It's quiet. It's subtle. It happens in the space between words, in the pause after you speak, in the way she looks at you when she thinks you're not watching. And here's the uncomfortable truth most men never hear. Women don't lose interest because you're unattractive. They lose interest because your presence feels predictable, safe, and emotionally flat. Right now, she's not interested in you. She replies late. Her energy feels polite, not curious. She listens, but she doesn't lean in. And that's exactly where most men panic and destroy whatever chance they had left. Welcome to Female Code Unlocked. This is the channel where we decode female psychology, attraction, and desire at the emotional level most men never reach. If you want to understand women without chasing, begging, or performing, subscribe now. Because once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. Now listen carefully. You don't make a woman want you by trying to impress her. That's what desperate men do. You make her want you by changing how she feels when she's around you. Think about the men women obsess over. They're not always taller, not always richer, not always better looking, but when they walk into a room, something shifts. The air changes. Women feel slightly off balance, emotionally alert, curious. Attraction isn't built through effort. It's built through contrast. Most men show women exactly who they are too quickly. Their fears, their availability, their need to be liked. And the moment a woman senses she has emotional control over you, her desire quietly dies. Not because she's cruel, but because her nervous system no longer feels challenged. Women don't chase comfort. They chase emotional depth mixed with uncertainty. Here's a real scenario. You're talking to her. You're being kind, attentive, available. She smiles, but it's polite. She nods, but her eyes wander. She's present, but not pulled. That's because you're playing the role she already understands. And what the mind understands, it stops desiring. The men women crave are never fully explained. They're felt. You see, a woman becomes interested when she can't immediately place you emotionally, when your reactions aren't obvious, when your validation isn't guaranteed. Not cold, not rude, just grounded. You don't rush to fill silences. You don't over-explain yourself. You don't seek permission to exist in the conversation. You let moments breathe. And something fascinating happens in her mind. She starts doing the work for you. She wonders what you're thinking. She replays the interaction later. She feels a subtle pull she can't logically explain. That's desire forming. Most men think attraction is about saying the right thing. It's not. It's about how little you need the outcome. Women feel emotional dependence instantly, and they resist it instinctively. The moment you stop trying to be chosen, you become selectable. You don't chase her attention. You let her notice your absence. You don't prove your value. You behave like someone who already knows it. And slowly, her emotional position shifts. She leans forward. She tests you. She invests. Because what she can't control, she starts to desire. This is only the beginning. You don't trigger attraction by becoming more impressive. You trigger it by becoming emotionally unpredictable in a grounded way. Here's what most men get wrong. They think women want intensity all the time, constant texting, constant attention, constant reassurance. But that kind of energy doesn't feel exciting to a woman's nervous system. It feels crowded. Desire needs space. Mystery needs silence. When you're always available, always agreeable, always emotionally open, she never gets the chance to miss you. And what isn't missed is rarely wanted. A woman starts wanting you when she feels a shift inside herself, when she notices she's checking her phone more, when she catches herself thinking, why do I care what he thinks? That moment doesn't come from you chasing. It comes from you holding your emotional center. You stop reacting to everything she does. You stop adjusting your mood to match hers. You stop over-investing before she's earned it. Not because you're playing games, but because your life, your purpose, your inner world is already full. And women can feel that fullness instantly. Here's another scenario. She pulls back slightly. Most men panic. They double text, they explain, they apologize for things they didn't do. You don't. You stay calm. You don't punish her. You don't chase her. You simply continue being exactly who you were before. That calmness does something powerful. It communicates emotional strength without words. Her mind starts asking questions. Why isn't he bothered? Does he have options? Did I misjudge him? And now she is emotionally engaged. This is dark psychology, but not manipulation. It's understanding how attraction actually works beneath logic. Women are wired to feel safe with a man who is emotionally stable and drawn to a man who doesn't need them to feel whole. Needy men look for women to complete them. Centered men invite women to join them. There's a massive difference. You don't overshare early. Mystery isn't about lying, it's about pacing. You let her earn deeper layers of you, and each layer she earns increases her emotional investment because the human mind values what it has to work for. Another key shift: you stop trying to make her feel special and start letting her discover why you are. You don't shower her with compliments. You observe her. You comment on her energy, not her looks. You say things like, "You're more thoughtful than you let on," and then you stop talking. That pause does more than 1,000 compliments ever could. Why? Because now she's seen, but not consumed, validated, but not pedestalized. Women don't want to be worshipped. They want to be chosen by a man who could walk away. And that's the paradox. The less you try to keep her, the more she feels compelled to keep you. She starts testing your boundaries. She challenges you. She invests emotionally to see where she stands. And that's when interest turns into desire. Attraction isn't created in comfort. It's created in emotional tension, balanced with safety. You're not cold, you're not distant, you're self-contained. And that self-containment is magnetic. There's a moment, quiet, invisible, when a woman's perception of you permanently changes. Not because you said something clever, not because you tried harder, but because you stopped chasing her emotional approval. This is where most men fail without ever realizing it. They think attraction is built by escalation. More attention, more vulnerability, more effort. But the final switch flips when you withdraw your need to be validated. You see, women are constantly reading emotional subtext. They don't just hear your words, they feel your intent behind them. When you speak to her wanting something, approval, affection, reassurance, she feels it instantly. And that pressure, even when subtle, quietly shuts desire down. But when you speak from certainty, from self-trust, from a place where her reaction doesn't define you, something changes in her body. Her shoulders relax, her curiosity sharpens, her emotional defenses lower. Because now you're not trying to take something from her. You're simply being. Here's the shift that makes you unforgettable. You stop trying to be the man she might want and become the man who would be fine either way. You still listen, you still flirt, you still engage, but there's no hunger in it. You don't rush to lock her down. You don't fear losing her. You don't rearrange your self-worth around her moods. And paradoxically, that's when she starts fearing losing you. This is when she opens up more, when she asks personal questions, when she tries to pull you emotionally closer, not because you pushed, but because you made space. Men who are easily replaced cling. Men who aren't don't have to. And women know the difference instinctively. Here's a powerful truth. A woman doesn't fall for a man because he proves his value. She falls when she realizes she can't influence his emotional core. That's when respect forms. And desire always follows respect. You don't need to dominate her. You don't need to manipulate her. You just need to be internally solid. You hold eye contact without trying to impress. You speak slowly, not to perform, but because you're not rushing to be understood. You walk away from conversations when they're done, not when you're empty. And she notices. She notices that you don't linger hoping for more. She notices that you don't overstay your welcome. She notices that you leave her with a feeling, not a performance. That feeling lingers. Days later, she thinks about something you said, or something you didn't say, and she feels that pull again. Not because you were perfect, but because you were grounded. This is the female psychology truth most men never learn. Attraction isn't about making her want you. It's about becoming the kind of man whose emotional presence creates desire naturally. You don't convince her. You don't persuade her. You don't chase her interest. You let your emotional stability do the talking. And when you do that, even women who weren't interested at first start looking at you differently. Because what's rare, what's calm, what's self-contained feels powerful. If this resonated with you, stay here. This channel isn't about tricks. It's about transformation. In the next video, I'll reveal why women pull away right when things feel good, and how emotionally strong men respond in a way that deepens attraction instead of killing it. Subscribe to Female Code Unlocked, because once you understand how desire really works, you stop chasing it.